Hey guys, welcome back to this video. And yeah, I was not in no mood of doing any kind of introductions. What happened. In the Man City, after the Man City match, I didn't make any videos, and the pre-match video that we normally do with Arsenal versus Chelsea, I didn't want to do that either because I knew that we are going to lose, but I did not think that we are going to lose the way we lost the match. I was expecting 1-0 or a 2-1 or a 2-0 loss. Even without Cole Palmer or Malo Götze playing, those two have been our best players for this season as of this moment. And so I didn't make a video because it was, anyways, we have lost FA Cup semi-finals, so we don't have anything to play. The players might not be inspired enough. I've talked about it in my previous videos. But what happened was really something in a different realm. As a Chelsea fan, if you have been a Chelsea fan for the last, 20 years at least, you might have not come across this kind of a situation where you're losing 5-0 to Arsenal of all teams. I mean, come on, there are certain teams where I don't accept a loss to any team. Okay, first and foremost. Even if you lose by 1 goal or 2-0, 3-1 down, 2-1, we'll still question the conceding those 2-3 goals, but still if we are losing, it's still an acceptable thing. The losing is not at all acceptable. But when you concede 5 goals, there's a big question mark on everything. Not just on Pochettino, not just on the directors, but also to the owners. Now, and also obviously the players. Now, Pochettino before the match came up very loudly and said that this is the best time for the players to show that this is not Cole Palmer Football Club, this is actually Chelsea Football Club. And the players literally shit on him, on his face, literally. The players like Jackson, even Mudryk in that matter, and Manuake, none of them have the maturity that they need to possess to play for a club like Chelsea at this highest level. Everyone is just having a fun time in London. They should make a video or some kind of a movie. We're enjoying our time in London. We don't need to do anything else. And this is really, really rubbish from the players, from the manager, and the overall attitude. You cannot have this kind of attitude when you're playing for Chelsea. I've spoken about this in my previous video as well. This is not where you win some, lose some. I understand for the last couple of seasons we have been a mid-table side, but we cannot have that, win some, lose some, attitude. If you look at the players, look at Jackson made that 1v1 against the Arsenal goalkeeper. And he completely took the tough decision. He doesn't know how to make decisions. I spoke to someone a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, and that person told me that Jackson is not an out-and-out striker. And it shows the way he plays. He doesn't know, a striker actually knows, he has an eye for the goal. He knows how to finish and score goals. The amount of misses Jackson has had lately, there's a big question mark on him first. As a striker, second, I don't know what he's thinking, if he's thinking that how can he make so many misses. I was thinking, why not get Timo Werner back at Chelsea? He would do better than Jackson at this moment. There is a need for us to get an out-and-out striker, and Jackson can play in a different role, maybe in the wings or something, but he is not a striker that we can go for. I understand Pochettino came out and said that, we need to support Jackson. He's doing better than before. He was going to improve. Really, at this moment, I don't think it's going to be happening with him. And then coming to the manager, I don't understand why the owners are still not sacked Pochettino. I have been throughout the season a Pochettino in guy, except for the last couple of weeks where I think that it is too tough for him. This job is too much for him. Either he doesn't realize that this is not Spurs, or this, he keeps on saying that this is not the Chelsea of the past, but you cannot lose 5-0. I can accept all of that. I can also accept till the 5-0 drubbing to Arsenal. I can accept everything that, okay, yeah, maybe give him some time, maybe give him, the next season as well. I know for sure after watching the way Chelsea is playing at least for the last 1.5 months, Pochettino cannot take us beyond top 4. The best he can do, and that will be after a lot of struggles, after a serious amount of struggles, the best he can come up is a top 4 finish. And I'm And I'm sure about it that he cannot do it next season. He will take another 2-3 seasons, if at all he's given that time. Only then he might be able to give us a top 4. It will be a humongous amount of struggle for fans, for players, for Pochettino to come out and say all this, that we are not there yet, we need to think differently yet, and then all that kind of thing before we actually finish top 4. That's the best he can do, and it will take him time. After losing to 5-0 to Arsenal, the owners should take the ownership of sacking him. As simple as that. Is not good enough. If the owners don't do it, then we know for certain the owners are not good enough, that the directors are not good enough, that at this moment we cannot play this kind of football that Pochettino is playing. You have no excuses to lose to one of your rivals, whether it's Arsenal, Man United, Man City, and Liverpool in that matter, and Spurs obviously. 5-0. It can be a 1-0, it can be a 2-1, 2-0. They're a better team at this moment. Arsenal at this moment is a better team than us. So, okay, that can still, we can lose like that. Again, as I said, losing is not an option, but still, we are still building up a team. 5-0 means we have nothing in our team, no pride, the players don't know what to do, the manager has not done enough, and he's only trying to find excuses without blaming the players. So maybe he's trying to blame something else, but he has nothing in him for us to believe that he can do better job next season. If not, sack him right now, sack him in the summer, get a better manager, get someone like Jose. I know Tuchel will not work because of what has happened, but someone like Jose, someone who is good enough to take it, an experienced manager. I myself wanted Pochettino to do well, but at this moment it is nowhere good for him, and I don't think he's going to do well at this moment with this bunch of players. You can blame the players, but there are certain players who are good, but he cannot get the best out of them. Like, with Frank and Tuchel thing, when Frank could not get the best out of certain players, but Tuchel was able to do so, and we won the Champions League. We need a serious manager who doesn't think that this is a different type of Chelsea team, and he doesn't come up with excuses. We really need to get up, because this is not acceptable at any Chelsea standards. If you're watching Chelsea football matches out there, going to the bridge, unless there's a change, don't go. That will be the request from me, for every Chelsea fan out there in London. Just completely boycott the matches, because this doesn't work. This is not the football club we had seen for so many years. It is very simple to say that we'll support the club irrespective. And I'm going to support the club irrespective. But when we can see something is going wrong and the owners don't want to make any changes, we know that there is simply nothing they care about. The owners don't care about, the directors don't care about us. They don't care about what we feel. You cannot lose 5-0 as simple as that to Arsenal or any of your rivals. That is the first red flag on the manager. The manager is not good enough. Sack him. Sack his ass out of Chelsea. And I really mean it. If you have to get someone like Jose, who is serious about the club, who has been in the club, and he can get things out. Maybe Jose is not the Jose of what he was 20 years ago, but I still believe that he can do better than what these guys are doing at this moment. This is horrendous. We cannot follow Manchester United and Glazers. I'm pretty sure the Chelsea owners are thinking, because they're Americans, and it's easier to blame them, but they're still thinking of what the Glazers are doing. That is not the way things goes. We have to do it differently. This is not an American sport. This is European football, and this is done differently here. You cannot build a project like this thinking that, okay, over 2 years, these players, some of them are good, but some of them are horrendous, and the manager himself is clueless, and it can show. Everybody can see it. And as I said before, I am okay with all that as well, and give the manager time, but you cannot lose 5-0 to Arsenal. You cannot lose 5-0 to Spurs, 5-0 to any of our rivals. We cannot. We are playing Aston Villa next. And that same team, Aston Villa, Emery, got a 2-0 win at the same place 2 weeks ago against Arsenal, and that Arsenal team beat us 5-0. Just think how backwards we have become. Aston Villa has become a better team out of nowhere. I can't believe we can say that Aston Villa has become this certain team, and we have our appointment of this manager has been completely out of sorts. We need to get a better, real quality manager. This will not going to work. The more the Chelsea ownership, the more the Chelsea directors take time and ponder about it, the more we are going to lose. It's high time, if not now, get him sacked in the summer, get a new manager, and hopefully with a few of our players coming back, like some Lavia and Kinu Fofana, Reece James, we might have a better season. But this guy is not going to work out. Telling you, this is not going to work out. You guys let me know in the comment section, guys, as what you guys think. I sign off. Bye bye, guys.